our practice today, for our chair practice today, finding whatever we need for that. So if you are using blocks for height and support, grab your blocks, or you can use stacks of books or anything that gives you height. You can use push-up bars. That can be helpful too. Actually, I'll grab those and if you have push-up bars, you can use push-up bars for height as well. And a lot of times it'll have like little things to get your height, that sort of thing. So use those two. Using whatever props you need. If you, when we do our seated forward fold, if you have some back pain or some hip pain, you can always use a blanket or pillow between your thighs and belly that whole time. And then a strap for opening, or a towel, and an eye pillow, all of the things. So you can grab all of your props that you need. We're sitting in our chair, in our nice supported chair, sitting ourselves up very tall, lengthening up through our spine. Maybe you're moving yourself a little bit from side to side in the chair or front to back, just to kind of ground yourself, ground your feet into the floor, ground your glutes into the chair, lengthen up through the spine, and let's roll those shoulders back. So let's do some nice big shoulder rolls here. So rolling that out. Very good. And roll that. Good. And then let's go ahead and roll that forward. Rolling those shoulders forward. Nice big shoulder rolls here. Taking that the other direction. Good. And let's go ahead and shrug. Shoulders up to the ears. Get that really big shrug, that like, I don't know, shrug it, shrug it. And then let's release that down. Heavy arms, oh, heavy shoulders, lengthen neck. Drop our chin to chest. With those heavy arms by our side, it can be very, it can release a lot of tension in the back of that neck. If you really, really use your imagination and think that your arms are super duper heavy, let's lift our head back to center, shrug that up again. So shrug those shoulders up to those ears, and then release that down, heavy arms, and drop our chin to chest once again. Woo. Nice. Maybe you can drop it even a little further this time, or that chin's going a little bit closer to that chest. Really lengthening through the back of the neck. Oh, those lats, well, the lats back here, but those traps up here, base of the skull. Very good. Lift that head center, roll the shoulders back, roll the shoulders forward. Let's do sun breath here. So let's inhale and sweep this up. Nice big sun breath. And exhale it out. Good. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. And inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. And inhale and sweep this up. As we exhale, let's drop our right hand to the right side of our chair. Let's lean over. Get a nice lean here and breathe. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Good. Let's sweep this to the center. Take that up. And drop that other hand down. So left hand drops down, leaning over. Very good. So leaning over to the left. Right arm is leaning, lengthened, lifted, and breathe. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Good. Inhale it deeply again. And exhale it out. Inhale and sweep those arms up. And as we exhale, let's go ahead and hold on to the back of our chair, the seat of our chair, clasp our hands behind us, or, like I was saying earlier, you can grab your strap or a towel. Again, if your shoulders are super tight and you're like, this is as far as my arms go, grab a towel and have your arms behind you so that you don't have to focus so much on that. You can focus more on opening that chest right there. So either using the strap, the towel, holding onto the seat of the chair, the back of the chair, or clasping those hands behind you. Let's open up that chest. Good. Drop our chin to chest because we've already been going there. Oh, very nice. Feel that right down the center of the spine, right through the base of that skull. Good. Lift that head center. Look to the left and look to the right. Bring our head back to neutral. Let's drop our right ear to right shoulder. That may feel awkward or it may not, like you're like, I don't feel like this is doing, I can get even my head over there. You are. Bring our head to center and drop that other side. Because on this side especially, I'm like, I don't even feel like my head has moved. But it has. It has. It has. And then once again, let's drop that chin to chest. Oh yeah. Lift our head to center and we can release those arms. Shake that out. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. Good. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale that out. One more time. Inhale and sweep this up. Let's take those arms behind us again. So reaching for whatever modification was helpful for you or trying a different one. So holding on to the back of the chair, seat of the chair, onto the hands, holding onto a towel or onto your strap. Let's look to the right or left. Let's look to the left. Left, so left chin going over towards left shoulder. Good, head to center. Now let's look to the right. We can look right, ooh, right. Head, not right head, but the right shoulder. I was just looking at all the leaves. There, it's at a point of the leaf growth where they're all very uniform. It's really cool to look at them all and they're like, oh, they're all the same. And then things change. All right, bring this back to center. Shake that out. Very good. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. Good. And inhale, clasp our hands at the top. Let's press our palms towards the ceiling. Go ahead and make some space up through your arms, through those armpits, up through that chest, up through that rib cage. Ribs are getting tall, lengthened spine, really reach up through that. So our arms are super tall now too. Oh, and we're gonna do some sigh breathing here. Let's say hello to that autonomic nervous system with our big sigh breath out when we exhale. Let's inhale it deeply here. And big sigh out. You might cough. If you've got allergies or if you've got any congestion going on, that might have been difficult. Let's do that again. Inhale it deeply. And exhale, sigh out. And your shoulders might be burning. Mine are today. Let's inhale it deeply. And exhale, big sigh out. Good. Reach our fingers up towards the ceiling. Let's walk our legs over towards the right. Let's take those hands to the back of the seat of the chair. One of my favorite stretches, using the leverage of the back of the chair to twist your torso. Get that wonderful, glorious spinal twist right here. Twisting into that, using the strength of your arms to hold on to the back of the chair, using the leverage of that chair to twist into that. Let's breathe it here deeply. Inhale it deep. And exhale it out. Felt that all the way up in my shoulder blades. Let's do that again. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Woo. Good. Reach back up through our fingers. Reaching that up. Let's walk our legs back to center. And then let's go ahead and walk our legs over to the left. Same thing. Hands to the back of the seat of the chair. Use that as that leverage for that really good spinal twist, back twist. Stretch for the lats, those big back muscles, even for those traps up and through that neck. Let's breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Good. Big deep inhale again. And exhale it out. So good. Ay. Reach back up through our fingers. Lengthen up through that. Good. Take this back to center. Arms are still lifted up nice and high. You've either got yourself at the center of the chair or towards the front of that chair because we're going to go into our seated sun salutations with a forward fold. And again, if you've got back problems or hip problems and you want a padding between your belly and thighs, then feel free to put a pillow there or blanket. We're reaching our arms up still. Let's go ahead and dive this down and fold this over. Oh, felt that in the lower back and right up in the base of the skull, right there, as we take ourselves into our forward fold. Maybe you're looking at your feet, your shins, or your knees. You are holding on to whatever is giving you height. That could be the floor, that could be your feet, it could be your shins, it could be those push-up bars. You've got those as well. So let's inhale and lengthen through our arms, which automatically lengthens through that spine. So good. And then release this down. Good. Inhale and lengthen again. Exhale and release. One more time like that. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up nice and big. Sun breath up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Sun breath up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Holding this here. Take our hand, right hand, press it into that block. Let's open up to the left side. Breathing this here. Nice deep breath. Feeling this in multiple areas. At least I am. Shoulder, hips, back, abdominals, core, that glute, because I'm trying to keep my left glute pressed into the floor or pressed into the chair, whatever I'm sitting on. Maybe you are doing floor. Maybe you aren't doing chair today. Maybe you're doing things on the floor or you're doing it standing. You're like, not going to use the chair today. Go ahead and release this back into that forward fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Big sun breath. Exhale, dive it down and over. Let's go the other side. Inhale and lengthen. Hold this here. Let's press our left hand down and let's twist open to the right. Good. Breathing this here. Deep inhale and deep exhale. And again, recognizing where you might be feeling it on this side, maybe in different places, maybe in the exact same places, but recognizing where you are feeling this at in your body. So good for that awareness, that body awareness, knowing what is going on inside and outside. Go ahead and release that and relax. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Sun breath. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Hold this here. Let's go. Right hand on block. Lift our left arm up. Very good. And breathe this here. Big, deep inhale. And exhale it out. Good. And let's inhale it again. And exhale it out. I'm trying to get that breath into the front. It's really easy to feel that breath in the back rib cage on this twist because we're kind of closed off. I was trying to concentrate on getting air into the front part too, because that really opens up that chest and those abdominals. Good. Release this back into that forward fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Big sun breath. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Press our left hand into block. Let's open up right. And how I tried to use my breath on the other side where I was trying to open up the front part of my body, I'm going to try and do the same thing here. Big deep inhale. And exhale it out. And when you have an intention like that, where you're like, okay, I'm not going to breathe like I normally do. I'm going to think about sending my breath somewhere else. That can be super helpful because it did. It kind of like opened up this front part of my chest, which was really good. Go ahead and release that. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep those arms up. Big sun breath. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. Good. Sit ourselves up tall. Super duper tall. Maybe you want to come to even forward edge of your chair so that when we get into this hinge and twist, you have a little bit more room. Or maybe you need more support, so you've got to be back here. So listening to your body, going where you can go today. Sit ourselves up tall. Let's inhale it deeply. As we exhale, we hinge right at that hip. So folding ourselves forward into our seated spinal twist, our supported seated spinal twist. trying to get our right elbow or right tricep over to that left thigh. That is the bullseye. That is the goal, but you may not get there, and that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly okay. It's going where your body will let you go, getting as much of a twist in that torso and back as you can. Let's breathe it here and exhale that out. Oh, yeah. Breathing deeply while we are in these twisting positions. So good. So good for multiple things. So good for the lymphatic system. Let's go ahead and bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep those arms up. Bring those hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So same thing we just did. Sit ourselves up tall. Let's inhale. As we exhale, let's hinge and twist. Oh, this side is tighter. And maybe you have the side that is tighter. Very normal if you do. Maybe it was the other side for you. Maybe it's this side for you. Wow. Just recognizing the difference. It's probably, if it were to be like measured, it would probably be like minuscule. But feeling it in your own body, it feels like completely different. Breathe it, inhale. And exhale it. So good. Let's do another breath here. Inhale deep. And exhale it out. Good. Bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale, release our arms to our side. We're going to lengthen through our legs. So you might be at the front edge of your chair. If you're not, kind of scoot yourself towards there. So you can get you just have your glutes sitting right up on your chair. You've got your legs out in front of you, and we're just lengthening through our legs here. So sit ourselves up tall, lengthen through our legs, flexing through our feet. Good. And then go ahead and bend that right knee so that right foot can press into the floor, and we're going to hinge this forward so that we get the beginnings of our first hamstring stretch for those legs. And getting ready for when we get into our piriformis, which will be soon, but not quite soon. We're just waking up those hamstrings. All right, let's lengthen back through both legs again. Sit ourselves up tall, and we can bend at our left knee, left foot pressed into the floor. Hinge that forward calf and hamstring just lit up right away. So good. Keeping that foot flexed. Yeah. And then go ahead and bring that up. And now we can bend that. You can scoot yourself back a little bit, not all the way yet. We're going to go into our staff pose, our seated staff pose. You can move yourself to the floor if you're like, okay, I'm done with the chair for right now. Or you can keep yourself on that chair, lengthening through those legs. Maybe you're doing single leg, maybe you're doing double. We're reaching up through our arms. We've got this strong staff pose here. Our feet are super duper flexed, and let's breathe. Inhale. And exhale it out. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. One more time. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Very difficult pose. We can release our arms down. You can be holding onto your chair or hands to thighs, wherever it feels most supportive for you. Keeping our feet flexed. Let's go hamstring curl and extend. So strengthening hamstrings, strengthening quadriceps. Let's curl this in and extend. There's 8. Curl this in and extend. There's 7. Curl this in and extend. There's 6. Curl this in and extend. There's 5. Curling this in and extend. There's 4. Curl it in and extend. There's 3. Curl this in and extend. There's 2. And curl this in and hold this extension. Good. Go ahead and point those toes and flex those feet. Point those toes and flex those feet. Point those toes, flex those feet. Point those toes, flex those feet. Point those toes and flex those feet. Release our left leg. Scoot ourselves forward again. So we're kind of doing a lot of scooting forward and backwards. Okay, we're going to take our right ankle to our left shin. And we've got our lengthened figure 4 stretch. So our lengthened piriformis, because then we'll get into that shortened one, which is more difficult. And maybe on that shortened one, you're like, I can't do the shortened one in the chair, but I can do the shortened one on the floor up against a wall or just on the floor. So again, listening to your body, where your body is going to go today for this particular practice. Every day is different. All right, bringing ourselves up, bending at that knee, and let's go ahead and take that foot, that ankle to the thigh. And yes, oh, screams. Right there, in that hip flexor, in that glute, that hip area. Not worried about our posture too much yet, just finding this figure 4, waking the hip up. Lots of tension and stress can be held in these because these are super duper strong and tight, and like our hip flexors do so much for us, so much. And they hold a lot, and they're very strong. So that's why they get very tight, because they're doing a lot for us. And they can hold a lot of stress and a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety, a lot of all kinds of stuff gets held right there in those big, tight tendons right there. All right, we can scoot ourselves back to the back of the seat of the chair, or if you're on the floor, you can scoot yourself against a wall, or you don't have to. But we're sitting our spine up tall because we're going to add in our hinge with our breath. So let's inhale it deeply and exhale, hinge. Woo. Wow. Good. Inhale it up tall and exhale, hinge. And maybe by that 4th one, when we get there, you might find a little bit more smoothing of that hip flexor. Let's inhale it up and exhale it out. That was 3. Let's hope by that 4th one, at least for me. Inhale it deeply and exhale it. And you might have a little more release, a little more smoothing of that hip flexor. Good. And inhale this up tall. And let's do one more hinge as we exhale that. So good. Good. Bring this back up to center, back up to neutral, lengthen spine. Let's take this into half shoelace. So cross that leg over. You could be doing the same thing on the floor. You're just crossing that over the leg. And we are wrapping around, or you are holding the leg or holding underneath that, that hamstring, that quadricep, and doing a nice spinal twist here. Oh, goodness. And breathe. Let's inhale it and exhale it out. And big deep inhale. And exhale it out. Good. Let's twist it the other way. Yeah, twist it right over this way. So good. Very nice. And bring that back to center. Very good. Go ahead and uncross. Good. Bring ourselves forward. And we're going to go back into staff pose on the other side. Or if you're doing both legs, you got both legs again. If you're doing one leg, then we're going on the other side. And you might still be on the floor. Maybe you're back on the chair. Just doing what works for you and trying to do both sides the same way. Let's lengthen up through our arms, reach up through that, lengthen through those legs. Let's breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Big deep inhale and exhale it out. One more time, big deep inhale and exhale it out. And release that down. Arms can hold, hands to thighs, hamstring curl, leg extension. So let's go ahead and curl this in. Feet are super duper flexed and extend. Good, that was our bonus one. Now we're going to count for 8. So go ahead and curl this in and extend. There's 8. Curl this in and extend. There's 7. Curl this in and extend. There's 6. Curl this in and extend. There's 5. Curl this in and extend. There's 4. Curl this in and extend. There's 3. Curl this in and extend. There's 2. Curl this in. And let's hold our extension. Go ahead and point those toes. Flex the feet. Point the toes. Flex the feet. Point the toes, flex the feet, point the toes, flex the feet, point the toes and flex the feet. Good. Release right leg. And let's take our left ankle to our right shin. And that lengthened figure four. Oh, lengthen piriformis. A little bit more of that hamstring and calf stretch. And if you're dreading doing the regular piriformis, get a big breath in like I just did and do that big sigh out, because that can be very helpful. Let's bend this and bring that up. Oh, good. Oh, not as bad as I was expecting. Maybe same for you, or maybe you're like, nope, it was worse. And that's okay. Breathe into that. Use that breath. Inhaling deeply and exhale out. It is helpful to know that yes, things are going to be different on each side. One side may be a lot tighter or more tender. We don't want to go into pain, but maybe tender than the other side. So just finding this. Maybe doing a little bit of just movement to get yourself ready. And then we're going to go ahead and move ourselves back to some support, if that is your choice. Sitting ourselves up nice and tall, lengthening up through that. Let's add that breath. Let's inhale it deeply here. And exhale, hinges forward. And inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge. And inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge. And inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge. And let's do one more time. Inhale this up tall. And exhale, hinge. I'll tell you, this side, it's as tender as the other side, but this side was like that really good, like good painful stretch, like not pain, but that good, like, but the one where you're like, yeah, keep going into that stretch. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Because I often don't get that. I'm always just tight in these hips. It's really good. All right, bring ourselves up tall. Oh yeah. And let's take ourselves into that half shoelace. Taking that heel over, and let's go ahead and wrap that arm or hand underneath or hand to shin. And take that and twist and breathe. Inhale and exhale. And big deep inhale. And exhale it out. So good. Very good. Very nice. And bring this to center. Give ourselves a nice big hug. And shake that out. Let's take ourselves over to our left side. And we're going to go ahead and bring our left leg behind us. I'm going to scoot my chair forward so I have more room behind me. There we go. All right. So we've got our left leg back behind us. Maybe your heel is on the floor. Maybe it is lifted. If it's available to you to have it lifted, try and keep it lifted. Sometimes it does not work to have that lifted. Maybe you've had a surgery or an injury that does not allow that to happen. So let's lengthen through this, keeping that heel lifted if possible, and reaching up through those arms so that we are getting that wonderful stretch from our fingers, the very tips of our fingers, all the way down through those abdominals, through that front groin area, through that quadricep, and then back into that leg. So reaching that up, let's drop our right hand down and lengthen this over. Good. Reaching and lengthening and breathe. Very good. And then let's twist this. So just a nice torso twisting. And this, any of this, all of this stuff that we're doing, you don't have to do with a chair. You can do this part, pretend the chair wasn't here. And then the next part, when we have our leg off to the side, you can actually take it down onto the floor and just take that leg off to the side. So got ourselves centered right here, twisting into this. And let's bring this back to center. So this is the part, if you wanted to take it to the floor, you could, and just have your leg on the floor and have your other leg out. Otherwise, you have got that leg supported in a, like a half, lotus or a half butterfly right here. And we're lengthening out through that leg, and toe can be pointed out. It can be pointed to the front, or it can be brought in, just depending on mobility of your ankle, flexibility of your ankle, or if you're working on that mobility and flexibility. This might be like super painful for you. Not painful in the way, but challenging. So if this is challenging for you, maybe take a rest and then do it again. If you are working on that mobility and flexibility in your ankle, ankles can tend to get really stiff. So ankles, wrists, little joints, super important to have that fluid going and to have that joint mobility. Let's reach up through that in the center. Good. Reach, reach, reach. And let's go ahead and drop that right hand again and lengthen over. Ah, good. Right from our, again, the very tips of our fingers, all the way down to the very tips of our toes or heel, whichever is the furthest away from you, or blade of the foot. That blade of the foot may be the furthest outside that you're getting right there. And breathe. Good, let's windmill those arms and reach this over. Try not to put any pressure on that kneecap. You can have pressure on that quadricep, on that hamstring, on that calf, but just we don't want any pressure on that knee cap or that knee joint. Very good. And then let's turn this into a pigeon. So it's either supported pigeon on the chair or you're doing pigeon on the floor. Let's lengthen through those legs again and reach up through those arms again. Even more of that stretch for that front hip. Good, and that hip flexor. And we're going to take this into a forward fold. So let's fold this here, either on those hands, on those elbows, or all the way forward. Use whatever you would like for support here or for height. Again, get creative. Whatever you have around in your house that is strong, that's not going to fall apart. Like, you don't want a flimsy box. If you've got a box, you can use a box. Good. Just nice stretch right here, and breathe. Continuing to breathe. Good. Let's lengthen up through this. Reach up through our arms. Lengthen, reach. So good. And then release that. We're going to go into our warriors. If you're on the floor, then you're going to bring yourself up. You can use chair for support, or you don't have to. We're going to go into our warrior 2 legs. So our front knee is bent, our back leg is straight. We're reaching out through our arms, very strong arms here, strong arms, strong legs, strong torso, strong chest, strong neck. Relax that face. Eyes are just looking right over the front hand, just gazing over those fingers. And breathing that. Good. Let's drop that back arm. Take our palm up. Take this into reverse warrior or peaceful warrior. Inhale it and exhale it. And if you got tightness in any of your muscles in your torso, it's going to feel like, oh, there's a vice. Oh. Just use that breath. Try and breathe as deep as you possibly can. Good. Let's bring ourselves down into side angle. Lengthen through that. So really reaching, 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 and breathing. Reaching and breathing, reaching and breathing. That's our theme. Lengthening and breath, lengthening and breath. Good. Bring ourselves back up. Proud warrior. And then release this down. So good. All right, let's take this to the other side. So we're going to do everything that we just did on that side. We're taking it over here to the right. So I'm going to put that block over there when we, oh no, I want it over here. Let's take our right leg behind us, lengthen through that. Again, if your heel can lift, then allow it to do so. If it does not, that is okay. Reach up through our arms. Oh goodness. And lengthen. Again, body awareness and recognition. Maybe there's one side that's tighter. Maybe it's tighter in different places. Recognizing that, not trying to fix here. We're not fixing when we're not trying to be like, oh, that needs to get better. No, we're just aware and recognizing that, wow, respecting what's going on with our bodies. And then just like Yeah, smoothing that out using that breath. Let's go ahead and drop that left arm to the left side of the chair and let's reach this over. Breathe. So good. And then let's go ahead and twist this. That one, ooh, I think I've got a lot of tightness up in my shoulder. So having my arm up was making my arm go to sleep. So again, little things, just being aware of like, why is it doing that? And then go back, if you think about like the science of your body, the anatomy of your body, and you go back to the root of like, oh, okay, this is falling asleep. So could it be back here in my core? Because that's usually where everything stems from. Oh yeah, really tight right here. Just those little things becoming your own little Sherlock Holmes of your own body. Good, bring ourselves back to center. Let's bring our leg up onto that chair, or maybe you're on the floor. Taking our other leg off to the side. And let's lengthen up through here. So good. And the same thing, how you were working on that ankle mobility on the other side, work same thing on this side. We got two ankles and you want them both. We want them both to be mobile. And same with wrists. We got two wrists. We want them both to be mobile, even though we use one of our ankles, one of our wrists, way more than the other. Super important that we keep the mobility of both. Good, let's drop this arm down, left arm down to the left side of the chair, reach this over. And this side feels a lot tighter than the other. It may feel, you're like, it feels really awkward, and that is super normal. It probably doesn't look awkward, but it feels awkward. That's a thing too. Breathe that, inhale and exhale. And let's go ahead and windmill this over and reach. Again, we don't want that hand on the kneecap or that knee joint. You can have it on the calf, on the quadricep, or on the hamstring. Back rib cage, really tight here. That means I need to breathe deeper. Good. Let's release that. Let's turn this into pigeon. So we've got either that supported pigeon on the chair or you've got a regular pigeon on the floor. Reach up through this again. So lengthen up through that. And breathe. And we're going to add in that forward fold. So folding this either on the hands, on the elbows, or all the way forward. Oh, this side's tighter in the hips. Oh, so much tighter in the hips. Breathe it here, inhale it deep. And exhale that out. Good, another breath here, inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. So good. Let's reach this back up, lengthen back up through that. Very good. And then let's release that. Nice. Let's take our leg off to the side. And we are finding our warrior again. Warrior two legs. Front knee is bent, so left leg is bent. Back leg is nice and straight. Let's reach through those arms, lengthen through that. Face is relaxed, those eyes super relaxed, just looking over those fingers. But everything else is working here. So strong legs, strong torso, strong abdominals, strong chest, lengthen neck. Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Drop our back arm, take our palm up. Peaceful warrior. Breathe into that. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Good. Let's take this into side angle. Take this into that nice side angle pose. Lengthen this over and reach. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Good. And bring this back up. Proud warrior. Super strong right there in that nice proud warrior. And then release that. Good. Let's keep our legs wide. Grab your blocks. if you're using blocks, and let's take those to the inside of our feet. And we're gonna go into our wide-legged seated spinal twist. Let's inhale and sweep this up, drop our right hand down and open. Love this one. Breathe it here, inhale. And exhale it out. Good. Very nice. Inhale and sweep this to the center and drop that down. Opening this up. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Good. Very nice. And inhale, sweep this up and release our arms. Good. We're going to take this legs forward or legs together, bring our blocks forward, and we're going to bring ourselves into a standing forward fold. That's the word I was going to use. The word I was using. Let's inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale it, dive down and over. Let's lift our glutes up off of our chair for our first standing forward fold. Love to use the blocks here because I love, that extra strength and lengthening through the arms, pressing into those blocks, pressing into those feet, strong feet pressed into the floor, legs are long. So we're in this forward fold, calves are stretching, hamstrings are stretching, backs of the knees, right up into those glutes. Let's inhale, flat back, look forward, tabletop. Exhale and release. Take a seat back in the chair. Inhale and sweep our arms up, sun breath. Exhale it, dive it down and over. Let's lift our glutes up off of the chair, standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Take a seat in that chair. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Lift our glutes up off of the chair. Lengthen through those legs. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Take a seat back in that chair. Inhale and sweep our arms up, sun breath. Exhale, dive it down and over. Lift our glutes up off of the chair, standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Keep ourselves right here in this nice standing forward fold. We're going to inhale, sweep our arms up big into a tall mountain. Inhale and sweep this up. Tall mountain, reach up through those arms. And let's exhale, cactus our arms back. So imagining our shoulder blades are touching. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale, cactus those arms back. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale, cactus those arms back. Good. Inhale and lift this up. And then let's release our arms to our sides. Very nice. Let's move our chair off to the side here. We're going to go into some plies some plies. So, or a 5-pointed shooting star. That's what it's also called. But for some more strengthening for those legs. So we've got our toes pointed out. Got our toes pointed out into this nice plie. Maybe you're able to take your legs very wide. Maybe they're a little more narrow. Maybe you are very close to your wall because this can be a little bit like you can lose your balance easily here. Or you're close, even closer to your chair. And we're reaching our arms up. So we've got our 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-pointed star right here. We're going to go into these nice plies. We're going to take ourselves down. Elbows are going to go right into our waist and then lift this up. We're going to add in breath. Inhale, take this down and exhale, extend. Inhale, taking this down and exhale, extend. Inhale, plie down and exhale, extend. Inhale, taking this down and exhale, extend. And inhale, taking this down and exhale, extend. Very good. Release our arms. Take our feet forward. So now we're on really wide railroad tracks. Feet are facing forward. Now we can safely go into a forward fold without hurting our knees. So let's inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Wide-legged forward fold. Maybe you've got your blocks or whatever you're using for height beneath you. Maybe you're holding onto your chair with one of your arms. and other hand can be on thigh, whatever feels the best for you. But just enjoy a little bit inversion here with the head lower than the heart and those legs wide. This nice wide leg forward fold, good for those hips. Our toes are forward. Maybe you're even starting to move your toes inward. So they're pointing towards each other. Big toes are pointing, big toes pointing towards the other big toe. And that can be really good for that, those hip joints, hip mobility. Very nice. And we're going to slowly bring ourselves back up and open ourselves back up into that 5-pointed star again for some more plies, for another set of these nice plies with our breath. A 5-pointed star. Let's inhale, take this down, and exhale, extend. Inhale and down, and exhale, extend. Inhale, taking this down, and exhale, extend. Inhale, taking this down, and exhale, extend. Let's go for 3 more here. Inhale, take this down, and exhale, extend. 2 more. Inhale, taking this down, and exhale, extend. Good. 1 more. Inhale, taking this down, and exhale, extend. Very nice. Let's release our arms. And again, we're going to do that wide leg forward fold. Take our toes to the front, wide railroad tracks, or slightly inwards, protecting our knees. Let's dive ourselves down and over. Maybe you've got those blocks, maybe you don't. Maybe hands are just on the floor, or they're on a chair. One is on a chair. Good, just enjoy this forward fold. Breathing it here, enjoying that head lower than the heart. Maybe rocking those hips a little bit from side to side, or inner thighs right here. Just enjoy this. Or don't enjoy this, but just tolerate this. You can do it. Breathe it here. If you're not enjoying it, you will. But just tolerate it for now until that enjoyment does come. Let's take those hands right to those hip creases. Let's bring ourselves up, or we're going to take ourselves down onto the floor. So bring ourselves close to our chair. Grab what we need for when we go into our inversion pose, our modified shoulder stand, and whatever you need for our final relaxation when we get there. So if you use an eye pillow, a regular pillow, a blanket, grabbing those things. Let's take ourselves down onto the floor. Take yourself close to your chair or close to a wall. Maybe you're using a wall today. If you're not using a chair, grab your blocks or your stiff pillows. And let's take our legs either up onto the seat of the chair, or you're scooting your booty super duper close to the wall and legs are coming up onto the wall. So we've got ourselves down right here. And let's go ahead and take that support right underneath our sacrum, right underneath our low back. So taking that block, it's going right there, right where that belt would go. Oh, that pressure from the block right on that low back pressure point feels so good. Very nice. Let's take our arms up. So let's go ahead and lengthen up through our arms. Roll our shoulders down and back, and then try and flatten those lats into the floor. These are our Frankenstein arms, or Bride of Frankenstein arms, or mummy arms. So they're just reaching out, and then let's go ahead and lengthen up through our legs. So now we've got our full dead bug right here, just reaching and lengthening. And maybe you're pointing and flexing your feet, so you're not quite a dead bug. There's still some life in you. Or maybe you've got stillness. Maybe you are a full dead bug and you are just still. So the back is nice and flat into the floor. Legs are lengthened up. Enjoying this inversion. Enjoying this difference of circulation. So legs being above the head. Enjoying that circulation and breathing right there. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Keep those legs up, and now we can just open our arms up, out, off to the side, our palms facing up. And arms are on the floor. Maybe pointing and flexing those feet. Maybe rotating the ankles and breathing. Again, just enjoying this inversion, enjoying not having to deal with regular gravity. Breathe it, breathe it. Good. Let's release one leg, release the other leg. Let's take our right ankle onto our left thigh and press the inner right thigh away. Opening that up. Ooh, doesn't this piriform stretch feel so much better than the earlier one? Ah, release that. Good. Take our other ankle, left ankle to that right thigh. Let's press that inner left thigh away. Oh yeah. Feels good. And release that. Very nice. Taking that block out from underneath that low back. So good. Press that chair away. And let's go ahead and find whatever we need for our final relaxation, because that's where we are going. So grabbing your eye pillow, your regular pillow blankets, whatever you are using, you can put that eye pillow over your eyes, and we're going to lengthen through the body. So reaching our arms towards one end of the room and then reaching, and you can yawn, reaching those feet, those toes towards the other end of the room. Lengthening that here, adding an inch or two to your height. Really reach through that body, really reach through those arms, through those legs. So good. Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. As we exhale, we sink and we settle. We let those feet just naturally fall open. So good. And breathe. Relax that face, release that jaw. Maybe your eyes are closed, or if you have that eye pillow, then just the heaviness and darkness of that eye pillow feels really good. Again, I can't stress enough, just relax that jaw. Just relaxing and releasing the jaw is so helpful. So nice. Breathe. Slowing everything down, quieting everything. Giving yourself a few moments. Maybe these are the only moments in your entire day where you are still, where you're actually still, where like everything is still. Your thoughts, your body, your breath is slow. That's good. It's a good practice to get in. Have something like this every day. Just a few moments where you can slow everything down, find some stillness, find some quiet. Still relaxing. Let's bend our knees. Flatten through our back. So flatten through that spine. Good. If that works for you. Sometimes there are injuries or different things that don't allow our backs to get flat. It's okay. And let's drop both of our knees over, to our most comfortable side. Take yourself onto your side. And breathing this here. Push ourselves up. Bring ourselves up into a seated Pose or seated, yeah, position. Oh, that feels strong and supportive for you. I love this kneeling position on the block because it just stretches the ankles, shins, so good. Sit ourselves up tall, lengthen up through our spine. Such good work today. Let's inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands to prayer and let's go ahead and exhale. Eyes following our fingers. Take our chin to chest. Lift that head center. Take our fingers to forehead. As we leave today, let us think thoughts of truth. Take our fingers to our lips. As we leave today, let us speak words of love. Take our hands to our hearts. As we leave today, let our lives be a light of truth and a light of love, having hearts of compassion and mercy, knowing that we have not been given a spirit of fear, but the spirit of love and a sound and peaceful mind. Inhaling it deeply and exhale. And again, big deep inhale. And big cleansing exhale. And thank you for joining me for the practice today. Have a blessed rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.